Hey, what's up? I'm Guy.
I'm John.
This is our YouTube channel. Subscribe to it and give this video a like.
Check out our podcast also below in the description.
All right, Milkoff. We were hoping we'd never see this day. I had this thought. I said it to you the other day. It was only week 2 coming in. The Niners had all these injuries, and it occurred to me it's only week 2. God, what else could happen? I didn't think it could all happen so fast. And the worst things happened. We'll get to Jimmy, but I think we got to start with Nick Bosa, right? I know Jimmy's the quarterback, but this guy, this was the guy we've talked about could be one of the best defensive players in the NFL. He is one of the best defensive players in the NFL.
Did you see I tweeted it, I think a couple days ago, just the highlight tape of Nick Bosa from week 1 against the Cardinals of him just destroying people. He made like 7 plays in like a 30-second clip. And I think it kind of got lost because they lost the Cardinals. And basically the clip said, like, Nick Bosa is a bad, bad man. And it's just we talk a lot about Kittle. I think Kittle is the face of the team. But if you went their best player, I think it's fair to say you got 2 best players. Like Kittle and Bosa are just like 9s out of 10s, 9.5s out of 10s. Now it's different because Bosa's only in year 2. But, Guy, I'm watching the Charger game. And Joey Bosa was like, yeah, I had to go back and study my brother against the Chiefs because I haven't sacked Mahomes yet. He's been playing him now, right?
Got him for the first time Sunday.
Yeah, got him for the first time. And Nick Bosa kicked his ass and just kicked the Chiefs' ass. Like, Nick set the bar so high year 1 and just looked like on a Hall of Fame trajectory. So they just arguably lost their best player, but also their other best player, if there are 2 of them, is also out. So it just – now, luckily with Kittle – he's going to be back probably this week. Nick Bosa's out for the season, Guy. He tore his ACL. It was one of those where Kyle could sit up, yeah, he lost his ACL. Now, I think the moment he goes down and is carted off, I don't know if anyone wasn't thinking, like, his season is over, right? That's what we're all thinking.
Assume, yeah.
But it is a – part of, though, is the game. Like, it doesn't really – settle in till the game ends, because when you're watching the game, it's a kick in the dick, but the team's still winning, they're still rolling, they're kicking the crap out of a bad team, and things just keep happening. Now Solomon Thomas lost a couple plays later. Literally the cart, I think you broke down the time, like less than 45 seconds on the game clock later.
Clock, yeah. It was 5:33 or 6:33 and 5:45 on the game clock.
They had to reuse the cart to take out his replacement.
John, are we sure it was the same cart? I mean, was that enough time to get Bosa to the locker room and get the cart back out for Solomon Thomas?
You've called a lot of games at college, and you've been to pro games.
They got to have 2 carts, right? They're bringing out different coolers pregame.
Well, remember the Oakland Coliseum just had the one little buggy?
They did not even have a flatbed. No. But to me, both injuries were significant. I mean, several injuries were. The Bosa injury did hang over the rest of the game for me. And even Kyle said after the game, everybody came in. They were fired up because we won. But seeing Nick, he specifically said Nick, seeing Nick was just kind of brought on mixed emotions in the locker room.
What would be your ACL power rankings on the Niners? If you had to lose a guy week 2, level of importance 1 through 3 or 4, like, is Nick 2?
I'd go Jimmy. I mean, Jimmy is the quarterback. We saw Mullins today. I think Jimmy's still 1, though.
Jimmy's 1. I'd agree there. Are you saying
Kittle's already out, so now just based on this roster?
No, you could throw him in this conversation, too.
I'd go Kittle 2.
Bosa 3.
Bosa 3.
You don't have to keep going. I mean, okay. I was
trying to think like Trent Williams or.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say that Jimmy, who we'll get into in a little bit, would be just your quarterback's always 1. It's a quarterback fucking league. You could argue, here would be my pushback, I might put Bosa at 2, even if you're saying like him and Kittle are equals, or Kittle's like, arguably one of the best players in the league already. He is offense. Kyle's an offensive guy. They have Jordan Reed. He can just kind of manipulate the situation. Now, Kittle is the heart and soul kind of the team. You could make an argument that Bosa's a 2. Defense, the power of that position. You get double-digit sacks. You impact the game on defense. You can't scheme around him.
So my counter to that would be, when I watch them without him, clearly they miss. He is just an elite pass rusher. I mean, Eric Armstead made some plays, but you're going to play Carson Wentz. You're going to play Jared Goff. You're going to play Cam Newton. You're going to play Russell Wilson twice. There's only so many guys that can chase. Yeah, Kyler around, right? There's only so many of those guys in the league. I will say the counter would be, I'm watching Fred Warner fly around. I'm watching Quan Alexander fly around. Tart and Ward are flying around.
Jimmy Ward guy has become a really good player.
I mean,
right?
oh my god,
both
those
Jimmy
guys.
Jimmy Ward's a badass.
Kerry Hyder, but
Trent Baalke guy nailed that one.
They did. Yeah, or he did. But you could.
It's devastating.
To me,
There's
right
no
now,
way.
given the way this team is right now with Debo out, I think one thing we've seen just watching the league the first 2 weeks, I know CeeDee Lamb made some plays eventually today. Rookie wideouts have made a play here or there. I think Jerry Jeudy had 4 catches. We saw Ruggs week 1. We'll see if he plays Monday.
What did Rager do today? I'll look that up as you're talking.
Yeah, I
saw him make a play, but you're right.
But I think you're getting a play or two from these rookie. Pittman made a nice catch on a redirected ball. I don't know what his numbers were at the end of the game for Indy. One thing
Ayuk had
a couple flashes, but it was like when they made he stole the one from Bourne. Hungry Dog Eats, nice catch on that for the first catch.
Rager 4 for 41 today.
Okay, which was basically I think Jerry Jeudy's line today. He was like 4 for 30, 4 for 45 or something along those lines.
Gotcha.
So I would say given the Niners offensive situation,
Ayuk 2 for 21.
And one was like late in the game. They just got him a touch, right?
Yeah.
That's why I would put Kittle ahead. But I mean, it's like to win a Super Bowl, these are the players you need. Both those types of players.
I'm going to give you 2 things that stand out about this injury. One, this is why you place a premium in the best teams on the lines. And I learned this when I was in the NFL. A strength, because before the season or during the season, you got your position groups up on magnets, right? Or just you have the printout of your roster and you go, fuck, our defensive line group is deep. You're an injury or 2 away from that, a room of strength becoming a room of weakness. And the one thing we learned last year with the Niners is you can never have enough impact defensive linemen. And this is why I'm going to give Kyle credit being an offensive head coach and really the boss of personnel. Like John Lynch answers to Kyle. Now, I know that John Lynch plays a part in this drafting too, but if Kyle wanted some sweet offensive player at that spot at pick 13 or even when they trade back 14, he would have got it. And they went defensive line. Now, I don't know. There's still a lot to be learned. You text me mid-game. You're like, God, he's pretty athletic, Kinlaw. Like, they just got a guy that's 6'5", 6'6", 300. Those human beings are hard to come by. Kinlaw, if they don't take Kinlaw doesn't make it past pick 20, right? He's on the board maybe 3 or 4, like, max spots. Like, he's going. So you always draft BPA, especially when you factor – and you get extra – like, to me, BPA – lineman, like if I can find wide receivers. Kyle's proven that. So I give them credit on this one, right? They knew it, but now they had got rid of Buckner or whatever, but still they easily could have gone another direction and no one would have said anything. This is why you do it. And 2, Robert Saleh interviewed for head coaching jobs, and Robert Saleh was just a name in the mix. And we like Robert Saleh, his energy. He can either keep his name in the head, like, guy, if they continue to have a really good defense throughout this season, he's going to get a shitload of credit. And he is going to be a lock interview. Yeah. Or they could just be a bottom 15 defense and maybe his star diminishes a little bit. And the irony is about great defenses, for the most part, it is about Jimmys and Jones, more about the X's and O's. Though you just watch Robert Saleh, he blitzes at the right time. I think the more and more you watch him, like he does, his team plays hard. Even when randoms are in there, like these high juniors fucking making plays.
I also think he's probably a good personality balance for Kyle. Kyle looked pretty stressed today.
My point is, like, there's a decent chance now that, like, he won't be great enough to probably get a job, that you might just keep around this guy. Though, if he is great, he could really cement himself as, like, if you're just viewing, like, I want a leader, I don't care about side of the ball, because he'll still be at a disadvantage. I think as this season goes, I don't know where you stand on this. I don't see how as an owner you could hire a defensive coach unless it's like John Harbaugh's available, or
especially
Pete Carroll,
if the Bengals look solid with Zach Taylor. The Packers are like historic offensively back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
It's
Cliff and Kyler keep crushing. McVay's got his swag
now maybe
back.
like Miami, like Brian Flores, like they're 2 weeks in. We'll see, but
like he did come from, like, he was Belichick's defensive coordinator.
Yeah, but that's not really. There's not a great track record for that, right?
No, but they were just coming off a Super Bowl when he got the job.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's true. Um,
So I think his name is just something to keep an eye on, like his stock, and it's just the way it works.
right.
So, but ultimately, my first point, this is why you draft BPA and you lean defensive linemen.
Because those like BPA defensive linemen is if you were right about the pick, they will be on the football field for a lot of snaps, right?
Yeah. And this is also where I give them credit because I would have got rid of this guy and I was wrong. I remember when they picked up Eric Armstead's fifth-year option. I'm like, what the hell are they doing? And then they developed him. Last year, he became awesome. They kept him for less money than Buckner, and they were able to keep Jimmy Ward because of the Buckner trade. You see today, like, Eric Armstead is, he's not like a Bosa, like a 9.5, 10 out of 10, but he's like an 8. You win with guys like that, right? If he's he carried him today when everyone started dropping. He was fucking making plays. He's batting balls. Like, I give them credit. Like, they stuck with it. They saw the scheme fit, and they've developed him to become an above average, probably just a really good starter.
I think it's, this emphasizes the need to get Richard Sherman back healthy. Remember Greenlaw looked like he was okay. Kyle didn't mention him in the post game, but just want to mention he went down on special teams late in the game. I don't know, is he normally on special teams late in the game, or was it just a factor that they needed somebody on the field? I don't know, but
I just think bodies were dropping like flies, guy.
So
they did one name, and John Middlecoff maybe back in the day put a large grade on this individual, Ziggy Ansah.
Yeah.
Remember they worked him out last week. They didn't sign him. It feels like he's a lock to be on the team by
Deion
tomorrow,
Jordan too
right?
was another guy that worked out, right?
Yeah, but I would lean Ziggy. He's played for this defensive line coach when he was in Detroit and had some. Remember, Ziggy was a really good player. He just had ankle issues. I'll be shocked if Ziggy Ansah's not on the team. Wouldn't you?
Well, I immediately started thinking about could he be the Jordan Reed of the defense? I mean, he's had 2 double-digit sack seasons in his career.
But injuries, man, they just.
No, I understand. The last one was 2017.
Like, Jordan Reed's are it's just cut and dry. It's just concussions. I think Ziggy's had ankles and knees. Like, he's just been pretty banged up. Jordan Reed is like, if he doesn't get concussions, he's really good.
He just 2.5 sacks in 11 games last year for the Seahawks.
Yeah. And this scheme is better than theirs, and just in terms of with the defensive line coach, I think it's a plug and play deal. I'm a little, I don't know why Ziggy wouldn't have signed last week if the Niners wanted to sign him. So I'll lean they didn't want to sign him because what's holding out for more money? Like, this is September 15th. Like, what are we doing here? The season's going.
I mean, it turned out they needed to sign Mohamed Sanu.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe they had to
pivot. Might have been a roster
maybe.
situation thing.
Yeah.
Because he did come out, right? He worked out and then left without a contract.
Who's that?
Ziggy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the Niners got a lot of moving parts on their roster. Roster management is it's not easy right now.
No, it is not.